All right, everybody, welcome back. Good evening. We've got some more quarterbacks to get through here. We're just going to get through kind of the mid to late day three guys now. We got four of them, and then we'll be done with quarterback. Over real quick. Not a lot to say about this class. It's a pretty bad one, and at the end of the day, we don't need one anyway, so why spend a ton of time on it? But we're going to start with Cole Payton, another North Dakota State quarterback, and again, there's some fun to be had here, but definitely not as fun as the last couple of high-profile North Dakota State quarterbacks that we've had. This video is powered and sponsored by Prize Picks. More on them later. 23 years old. He is 6'3", 232, so he's got the size. He looks the part. Decently long arms, big hands. Tested great. The only reason why his testing doesn't look so great is because Talon Green was in this class and he tested out of this world, but Cole Payton, phenomenal athlete for a quarterback, running a 4.56, 1.57 split, jumps out the building. He is a great athlete. But the only big board that has him in the top 100 is CBS, and the database has him in the 5th round. And he only really has 1 year of starting experience. It was pretty good for NDSU last year. 2,700 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, ran for 13 touchdowns, almost 800 rushing yards, 96 PFF grade. But before 2025, he was basically just a running quarterback. He was somebody they put in for running plays only. He was like, remember how Colin Kaepernick was used when Alex Smith was still the starting quarterback? It was kind of like that. So he's a great athlete for the position, no doubt about it. He's remarkably accurate. I mean, he can fit the ball into unconventional little windows on downfield throws. He has NFL caliber arm strength. He does find a way to fit the ball in. He's got good size for NFL quarterback play. He's hard to bring down. He is elusive when he gets on the run. He knows how to extend a play. And he's also pretty good at throwing on the move. So there is stuff to like here with Cole Payton for sure. But you've only got the 1 year of starting experience. Before 2025, like I said, he was basically just a rotational quarterback who would just run. His arm is not special. It's just okay. He doesn't really read and dissect defenses yet, which does make sense because he is so inexperienced compared to how a typical quarterback is when they come out. His throwing mechanics are also a mess. The throwing mechanics kind of need work. I think that it's understandable given the fact that he doesn't have a lot of reps at this kind of thing, but I do like I do consider the fact that he may just never figure it out. So he's fun. He is definitely a lot of fun. He's more of an athlete than a typical small school guy for sure. I don't mind this one. At the very least, there's upside. He's an athlete. Even if he doesn't work at a quarterback, maybe you can put him somewhere else. So 4th round flyer in my book. I'd put him in the 4th round. Figure it out. Figure it out. Okay, Cade Klubnik is next up here. This guy's really interesting. Cade Klubnik was a very high-profile player for a while in college football, projected to be maybe even a top pick one day, and it just never got there. Was going to be, at one point, he was considered an early candidate to be a #1 overall pick, and now he's here. Do you like sports? If you do, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players' projections and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. I've had a great time using Prize Picks so far. It makes this daily fantasy thing so easy and fun, and it even makes watching the games way more exciting. And with the cool social feeds feature, you can share lineups with your friends and even follow partners to tail or fade their picks. Obviously, we're in the NFL offseason right now, but we've got basketball, baseball, hockey, all kinds of other stuff, so don't be afraid to test things out in whatever sport clicks with you. You can even pick multiple sports in the same lineup and sweat everything at once. And don't forget about team picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So, download Prize Picks, America's #1 sports app. And don't forget, code HMA, that is HMA, gives you $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. So, yeah, Klubnik, 22 years old still, so he's still young, I guess. He could figure it out. Clemson Tiger. Kind of small, which is part of the problem here. Definitely not a prototype build. Definitely not prototype size. Mostly like a fifth round pick on the general feeling of what I get that he is. I see Klubnik as being like a fifth round pick. Did not have a great 2025 in part because I believe he missed some time, showed a lot less with his legs, was a lot less effective as a passer, not even 3,000 yards. Was much better in 2024, 36 touchdowns, almost 500 rushing yards, almost a 90 PFF grade. So he has shown greatness in his career. I do want to be clear about that. I do think that Cade Klubnik is, at the very least, this isn't one of the guys like Drew Alar, who was never really there. Klubnik looked like he was there for at least a little bit there. So very highly touted prospect once upon a time. He's got good straight line speed. He can run fast if you get him going. He's got good pocket presence. He can dance around the pocket as he needs to. He's got great arm talent. He can layer throws. He can fire bullets. He can make the throws he needs to make. He can read defenses, pick up on pre-snap stuff. So there is a good foundation here. But with the year he just had, even with the injury kind of mitigating things a little bit, he's earned his fall. You can force him to make mistakes if you mix things up post-snap. Post-snap defenses are going to eat him up right now. He's very inconsistent just in general. Pressure, he doesn't handle pressure that well. He's really not athletic. He's just kind of fast in a straight line. And he also doesn't throw on the move all that well, I don't think. So there's a lot wanting, but there's still a good foundation of a quarterback in here somewhere. So once upon a time, he looked like he was a future top pick. But it's hard to get around the 2025 season when evaluating him. I'll go fourth rounder, which is probably a little too high, but I can't quite quit him yet. I feel like there's something with Klubnik that maybe just didn't get a chance to fully come out in college. Okay, Sawyer Robertson is our next guy here, another Baylor Bear quarterback, 23. Does have decently legitimate size, 6'4", 216 pounds. Arms are decently long. He's good athletically, especially with his explosiveness. He's very explosive. Jumped out the I mean, I don't want to say he jumped out the building because this year there were a couple quarterbacks that did better, but in a vacuum, a 37.5 vert is great for a quarterback. Also got decent speed. You look at the big boards. We got some fifths, we got some sixth, we got some seventh. Draft Network puts him in the third. So they really like him for whatever reason, and the aggregate puts him in about the sixth. So last couple years, put up some nice numbers, 6,700 yards or so. Low completion percentage, kind of, only about 61.5%, but 59 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Done a little bit of damage with his legs. Remember what I said about rushing stats for quarterbacks? They're a little different. PFF grades, okay. So he's at least got the basic requirements for NFL size. Like, he's not quite a prototype, but he's got pretty good size for an NFL quarterback. Does have legitimate mobility. He can go get yards and he can evade pressure and buy time in the pocket. He handles pressure well overall, and he understands how to maneuver around in the pocket. So there's a decent baseline here of talent and ability. But there are some limiting factors here for sure that push him down to this part of the draft. So his arm is mediocre. It's not bad. Like, it's enough to be an NFL quarterback, but it's not really enough to get your attention. He's mechanically poor with his footwork, which makes him miss throws, which is why part of the reason why his accuracy is so low. He puts his body on the line too much. He takes too many big hits. Going to have to learn how to not do that. He's not very good at moving off of his first read. He locks on, and he does hold on to the ball too long. So there's stuff to work on, and some of it can't be fixed. So there's not really enough here to be a consistent NFL player, but the athletic stuff is fun, and it's better than some of these other guys who don't bring anything except the ability to run a simplified offense. So you take him in the fifth. I'd feel okay with that. Sawyer Robertson, fifth round pick. And the final guy for this video is going to be Luke Altmaier. He's the last quarterback with a draftable score on NFL mock draft database. Illinois, the Fighting Illini, 23 years old. Kind of small, not very big, not tiny or anything, but kind of small, very short arms. Above average athlete for the position, but not by much. And in this draft class, he doesn't really stand out that way. Like I said, 7th round pick, something like that. Had 2 good seasons in a row for Illinois. 5,700 yards, really high completion percentage last year, made improvements there. 44 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, run for almost 450 yards, 9 touchdowns. PFF grade is okay. So he's got mobility. He can scramble, does have that genuine mobility. He's got a passable NFL arm, emphasis on passable. I think he was a 3-year starter in college, which is great. Compact and fast release. Sometimes the short arms do help a little bit there. Willing to make anticipation throws, willing to fit it into tight windows, willing to throw where the receiver will be. He stays poised when pressured as well, so deals with pressure okay. Now, he is undersized, still learning how to maneuver the pocket, still kind of learning the little nuances there. His footwork is lackluster, and sometimes he whiffs on easy throws. And he has kind of a lower arm slot, which makes a lot of his passes get batted down. So that is also a weakness here. So par for the course, serviceable, just not much to say here. Kind of more your typical late round quarterback, 6th rounder, and that'll do it. All right, so that is it for the quarterbacks in this draft. Let me know what you guys think, if anything. And we'll be doing some offensive line stuff for the next probably week plus. And it won't be directly positions that we care about, but some of those players may be of interest to us. So tune in. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. Everyone have a great rest of your day.